Hello, welcome to another episode of Playing Telephone. I'm Scarlett Sanchez.
I'm Dennis Kluba.
Hi, Dennis. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Nice
I was
little
actually
trip home?
Yeah, I was back home for a second, which I do that kind of a lot. Just go for like 2 days, kind of get a little checkup, see how everybody's doing.
Yeah.
My brother's getting ready to go back to school, so he's going to college on Friday. So
Okay.
that was kind of why I went back at the time that I did.
Yeah. So
Good timing. I was so grateful that I didn't have to deal with that yet.
Okay.
Because, like, that's like one of the most stressful times ever to be, number one, a parent, but also to be a sibling or the person going to college. Because all your parents are doing are asking you the things that you don't want to deal with at all.
Such as?
Like,
what do you want to do with your life?
No, that's nightmare. More like, hey, like, have you gone through your closet and these pants that you wore in 7th grade? Are we taking those? It's like, no, we're not taking
Goodwill
those.
in those, or that going to make it the cut?
It's just like something that you don't want to deal with at that moment when all you're thinking about is like, oh, in 5 days, I'll be with all my friends in college.
And you have to pack all of your stuff into these like 2 or 3 suitcases that'll go in your dorm.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That's exciting.
But, no, it's exciting. It's like, yeah, it's a fun time. But how was your weekend? Eva's here.
It was good. Yeah. My best friend's visiting from Austin. So we were just going to a few different
little haunts,
little bars,
some little parties.
Went to 2 friends.
On Saturday night?
Yeah, on Saturday.
Where?
In Hollywood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was
really
really
Were
fun.
they good? I think they're pretty good usually, right?
Yeah, they were good.
That's cool.
We got there really early though. We thought they came on at 10.
No.
That's interesting. Because they said strict starts at 10. And we're like, wow.
Gotta be there.
All right, I guess we'll be there. I've never been on time for anything.
Where are they playing at?
It's called the Academy.
Okay, never heard of that.
And then I wasn't sure if it was going to be an 18 plus bar. So I was like, what's the crowd going to be like? But it was, it was good. Good music.
21-year-olds?
Yeah, 21 and
Rock
above.
on. Adults.
Adults only. Yeah, no, that was fun.
That's awesome. Well, of course, over the weekend and the past week, bombshells have dropped since the last episode that we dropped, which was Wednesday. The biggest one probably being one of my favorite person that people that is on this all the time. Yeah. Britney Spears, though.
Yeah, Britney Spears, we always cover her. I mean, from the conservatorship ending to drama with her family. Well, now there's some drama in her love life. Her and Sam Asghari, her husband, decided to divorce. Yeah. And they were together for about 6 years. They got together when he was in her music video, Slumber Party, in 2016. And then they were only married, though, for 14 months. It feels like they've been together forever. Yeah. But in terms of like the actual marriage, we covered the wedding, too, though. But decided to pull the plug.
We cover her a lot. She covers nothing.
Yeah, no.
On Insta.
Likes it
all out there. Okay, we talked about this a little bit before we even went on, but I just wanted to say that it seems so odd to me too that wedding and them being together since they're married, that seems longer than 14 months, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, their relationship in general, being from 2016 until now, it's like, for whatever reason, that was a solid thing in her life.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like what I would think most people would assume is, oh my gosh, they did like the quick shotgun wedding, married for a year and like, oh my gosh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like they were together for a substantial amount of time, right?
Yeah. And they dated, like we said, for a while before getting married. Didn't seem like anything was rushed.
Yeah.
Seemed to be friends beforehand too. And especially with all of the drama with her family, obviously very strained from her father because, which we can get into that more, but with everything that he was doing, he was her conservator and there was, that was just bad. And then bad relationship with her sister too. Yeah. We saw Lynn, though, her mom, come and visit her. Remember in LA a couple months ago? And then we thought maybe that would be repaired, but then that was kind of the end of it. Yeah. So Sam's really been her pillar of everything, her rock. Yeah. So to see him walk out of her life, I feel like a lot of people are kind of concerned now.
Yeah. Well, like I remember the last time that we covered them together, I feel like they were in Vegas, but then also, and they were like celebrating. They're in Vegas a lot, I feel like, but Vegas there was obviously the like time with
favorite places.
Exactly. Which is everyone's. There was Victor Wembanyama where she got smacked. Like that was probably the most recent time we covered her. But everything other than that, that's like really their relationship for the most part has seemed that was like the most smooth thing in her life. But then when we talk about her family, the conservatorship, that side of things, everything she's posting on Instagram, we're like, this seems uneasy. So it's scary now, even more so, that the one person that we thought was kind of like, you know, actually like, you know, a sane person that was looking out for her. Not there.
And someone stable for her. And also, we're mentioning the family members. I don't know if we talked about this, but her son's also moving to Hawaii with Kevin Federline, her ex-husband. So I feel like there's a lot of changes going on in her life right now. And like coming out of the conservatorship and then also having Sam as her husband. Now it's been like, she's kind of been isolated from a lot of people, has been some of the reports. So her manager, Kate Hudson, and then her lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, has been stepping in to like help with any sort of care that she might need. There was reports of her like needing help to be fed and maybe take her to appointments. I don't know about that. I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit of stretch because she literally just posted a video on Instagram of her, you know, chefing it up a little bit, doing bell peppers. She's lived by herself before, at least with Sam. So I don't know if that's maybe to keep track of any sort of medications that she's on, make sure she stays on track. But
I understand her definitely coming out of the conservatorship and not like trusting you know, people a lot, but also we know, and this is just, I'm assuming that even despite all the money that we think was probably stolen from her, given the conservatorship with her dad and everything like that, I would think that she still has enough money too, to have like, if that is a real issue, like eating, getting to appointments, like a maid and, you know,
a caretaker.
Yeah, exactly. A caretaker or like a service that, hey, like, this person is your bodyguard that will drive you to the appointments. If it really is a thing where she's not used to as an adult managing, which I could totally see, managing a schedule, managing like, oh, like I just have to go shop for groceries for the week.
Right.
I could see because she was so big for so long, that being kind of like, a, you know, hard to do for the first time on your own.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this too, when she first, the conservatorship first ended, she didn't really have that kind of easing into reality again, because that was very strict. I mean, she was constantly being watched, allegedly cameras in her bedroom, was on a very strict, you must be doing this, rehearsing, can only see a certain amount of people. Sam was one of those very few people that she was allowed to see besides her doctors. So then to suddenly have all this freedom, I can see that being a very difficult thing to maneuver. And I think that was something that was hard for Sam too in their marriage. And there was also some other allegations too that he brought up, and that essentially he's been done with the marriage for a few months now, and he's really reached his wit's end because he had found out that, or he's saying that she cheated on him. So cheated on him with one of their staff members at their home. And he said that he found a video of them in a compromising position. So some cheating allegations.
Okay, here's the thing. My initial take was that Sam was leaving her out of solely, hey, I don't know what I got myself into. This has been a lot of stress given the end of the conservatorship. I wasn't necessarily ready. And maybe they just fell out of love, you know, after 6 years. It happens, even if it's only in 14 months, you know, being married. I get it. People have left amicably from that. For her to have cheated on him, though, is like, God damn it, Britney. This was the one good thing
I know.
we had moving for us. He really was there through and was on her side throughout the whole conservatorship. You know, he was standing up for her and saying, yes, I've seen this stuff happen. Like, this is bad. This is wrong. And for her to do that, now I'm like, not only am I concerned, I'm also pissed at her too.
I know. God. I know what you're saying. Like, hire the bodyguard. Well, she had one, and well, some things happened there. We don't know exactly who the staff member is, but he's saying that she cheated, and that was kind of like a final call. And also he brought up that she'd been violent with him before and had actually punched him in his sleep. So there was photos, like paparazzi photos, and everyone was really confused. But
his bruise
nobody ever addressed it though. He had a black eye and he had a bite mark on his arm. So
why is that so much more believable for me than the cheating? The violence. I'm like and it all is kind of running together now, but based off the social posts that we have been so concerned about for the longest time, and I think a lot of other people have been too, is like everything about those videos was screaming unstable. And I looked like at any moment she could kind of do something unstable, like jittery, like something wild, and something like a bite or a punch feels totally on the table for her.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And remember when we talked about too, her fascination with knives and
she stated that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, she didn't state that.
Yeah.
Sources close to her. Probably Sam, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it was a call for help.
Yeah.
She likes knives a lot. Those are her hobbies.
And she was hooked to Red Bull. So I'm sure there's a lot more to this than we don't know, of course. And now he's wanting to kind of contest the prenup a little bit, which I'm sure has a fat NDA on it.
Yeah.
But if you try and fight it, maybe he's thinking he can get more money from her, which that's just sad. It's like, don't be like everybody else and just try to take advantage. But I think he's trying to leverage a little bit. Like, I'm harboring a ton of secrets for this family. So
I deserve a payout.
Yeah. Give me the paycheck. And he's staying in this really nice apartment, like high rise luxury building. I'm assuming Britney's paying for it.
Well, I mean, he was a backup dancer.
Yeah. He's done some like movie, TV-ish gigs.
Okay, well, there's a strike right now. You're in trouble, Sam.
Right now he's not working. Yeah. He's in the strike.
He was a stay-at-home dad. Yeah, this is wild to me. Also, as a quick recap of timeline, when was all the hearings on the conservatorship?
That's
21, 22.
It's been like 2 years now.
Okay. I just was trying to remember because
November 2021. So yeah, almost 2 years.
Yeah. That felt like it was massive. But at that time, everyone was under this, this impression that the conservatorship, which we've talked about many times, was so oppressive to her. And I think in a lot of ways that is true.
Yeah.
But also now more and more as we've seen things come to light where it doesn't feel very stable or necessarily like healthy for her, maybe to be on her own.
Yeah.
It's like, God, like at this point, I can't imagine being close to her and actually caring, and being in her life. But also it's like, hey, we do have to get help. Yeah. I understand that you're scarred from the way that it kind of happened before, but this is not a good situation.
Yeah. I feel like it's two different extremes. We went from a very strict conservatorship to just absolute freedom and thinking like full independence was the best way to go. And there's nothing wrong with needing some support to get through your life. I mean, that was also a traumatic experience. So I would think you would need help to even get through whatever you went through in that conservatorship.
Completely.
And also we talk about it. Her level of fame is
stardom,
just insanity.
Unbelievable. Let's get into how they both responded and physically how they responded and on text and Insta how they responded. Yeah.
Because first we found out, okay, they're separated, heading towards divorce. 2 hours later, Sam files for divorce. So it's a very quick turnaround from those stories coming out. And then we don't really hear from either of them, though. And the only thing that we heard was Britney. And she's like, I'm buying a new horse. And everyone's like, what? Either she's so unfazed by this or unbothered, or maybe she's just using it as distraction. But she posted a photo. It was actually a trip that she was with Sam on a trip with Sam. I think it was in Mexico, and she's riding on a horse on the beach. But she posted that. She said, I think I'm going to buy a horse soon. So everyone was a little bit confused by that post. And then a couple days later, Sam finally broke his silence on everything and posted on his Instagram story.
Yeah.
He just said, after 6 years of love and commitment to each other, my wife and I have decided to end our journey together. We will hold on to the love and respect we have for each other, and I wish her the best always. Shit happens. Asking for privacy seems ridiculous, so I'll just ask for everyone, including media, to be kind and thoughtful. He got a lot of shit for saying shit happens.
Yeah, I felt like up until that point, that was not the worst of the breakup. Post that I had seen. Shit happens feels a little bit like you're underselling it, considering how much they have gone through together as a couple and Britney herself.
Yeah. And he's always, obviously that's her husband, but he's always stood by her and been outspoken too, though. Cause you can kind of have a more silent husband. I'm going to support you at home, babe. But he's gone on Instagram like, no, this is not true. Britney is completely okay. So he's been very vocal about where he stands and his protectiveness with Britney. But yeah, so he put out that statement, but now they're not on any speaking terms. So the only type of communication that they're doing is through their lawyers.
Oh my gosh.
But then, yeah, Britney ended up finally posting a video. It was a video, of course, and she did this
It was
caption.
a video, of course.
Yeah, I guess a dancing video. But
Scantily dressed.
Do you want to read this?
Yeah, I'll read this one. And my best Britney.
Please.
As everyone knows, Hassam and I are no longer together. 6 years is a long time to be with someone, so I'm a little shocked. But I'm not here to explain why, because it's honestly nobody's business. But I couldn't take the pain anymore, honestly. In some sort of telepathic way, I've been receiving so many messages that melt my heart from friends, and I thank you. I've been playing it strong for way too long, and my Instagram may seem perfect, but it's far from reality. I think we all know that. I would love to show my emotions and tears on how I really feel, but for some reason, I've always had to hide my weaknesses. If I wasn't my dad's strong soldier, I would be sent away to places to get fixed by doctors. It's just sad. But that's when I need family the most. You're supposed to be loved unconditionally, not under conditions. So I'll be as strong as I can and do my best. And I'm actually doing pretty damn good. Anyways, have a good day and don't forget to smile.
I actually think that was a good statement.
Like I was going to say, not her, and by no means her worst at all. And for and almost all of that was completely coherent thoughts.
Yeah.
And almost, I would say to a certain degree, wise statements. I don't know where she came up with the
end part was
unconditionally, not under conditions. I was like,
probably because that's how she felt during the whole conservatorship.
Yeah.
But I thought her statement was way more heartfelt and
real.
You could see, more genuine than Sam's.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's because Sam is so done with her, though. I mean, with the cheating, the violence, you can kind of see in their statements where they were, where I feel like she does kind of see it as like lost love, but also it's time for us to separate.
If those things are true, though, that Sam's alleging.
That's true.
Saying, I'm a little shocked, but as if you did cheat, saying you're shocked is always
And remember the people, I like how she also mentioned all the kind words that everybody's been having, because obviously everybody's kind of backing Britney. I don't know Sam's friends, but we know her friends just because they're bigger names, I guess you can say. But yeah, like Paris Hilton unfollowed him, Drew Barrymore unfollowed him, Madonna unfollowed him. I was looking up the people who went to her wedding. Selena Gomez and him never followed each other, which I thought was kind of interesting, but you went to the wedding. But just a little tidbit.
It's a weird one. I feel like you're obliged to follow, if you get invited to a wedding, for the most part, you have to follow the guy.
That's what I'm saying.
No matter how minimal his Instagram presence is. Yeah. That's like etiquette.
And Sam's is definitely
out there.
Yeah,
he's posting.
Yeah, he has a presence online.
I don't know. Like I said, one of her better statements that I've ever seen, but this wasn't the only response that we saw from her. This was probably the best response.
Yeah.
The weekend happens, and we see more of her typical content, which is dancing videos, some nudity. Yeah,
she posted a video of her on bed, topless. I swear I thought I saw a nipple there for a second. But yeah, she's like,
I swear I saw a nipple.
I'm single. She's single. That video screams single. And then she threw a little.
Is that how you would go about that? I didn't do that when I
didn't post a shirtless.
No, I wasn't like
little mirror selfie. Check out
single.
This bod.
I guess that is a little bit what people do. It
totally is. That's the whole like revenge body or thirst trap.
Little extreme though. No,
be a little jealous.
A little extreme though. No.
No.
I think it's usually like a bikini photo.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not posting a whole video of my leg going behind my head. She's flexible.
Get after it, boys.
And then she also, do we call it a little divorce party? She had all of her closest guy friends around. Her manager, Kate Hudson, was there. And then I didn't know the other guys personally.
Just shirtless guys.
I didn't know them. But they were shirtless, picking her up, posting videos, licking her leg. So I wonder how Sam's feeling through this. I feel like if I was having the cheating thing in my head and then I'm seeing this, I'd be like, wow. Unfollow.
I would just be like, this is
coming for your money, I guess. I guess that's what he's doing.
I would say that this is if the cheating thing did happen, which
hostile.
I just think that this is a little bit of like a cry. I think it's like a cry for help. Like it's almost, and for me, I wouldn't be pissed. I'd almost be like, it's a little sad.
Yeah.
If I were Sam, like, hey, like, I was there for you. We shared a great relationship for 6 years. This is really sad that not only, obviously, did you cheat on me, but also that you're kind of responding in this a little bit, like, I would say, like, not giving it the full depth and gravity that maybe it deserves. Mm-hmm. Then again, in his post, shit happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of how she's responding with this party too.
And also,
so I don't know.
Yeah. And it could be very much true that she did cheat and was violent. But like you said, maybe that's not true. And also, I don't know how much of a great person he is if he's trying to like take extra money that he doesn't need. Because their prenup, when they got married, that was something that we talked about, was like very tight prenup. She doesn't even have to pay him a spousal support or anything like that. So he was essentially going to walk away with nothing additional.
I'm hoping that the judge enforces that, or the lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, is like, hey, like, we put this in there that you're not going to get anything, and you signed it, so you don't get.
I can see. I don't know. I just get with this. I just feel like there's some things on the side maybe that happen. Hey, just cut me a check, and I'll be quiet.
Keep quiet.
I don't care about that NDA.
Quiet.
A little blackmail.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, though. That's all.
We have 2 new single suitors.
Yeah.
For the Britney and Sam. In a year and a summer that really has been riddled with divorce and cheating. But with that, as sad as it is, we actually did have somebody that got married, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Jack Antonoff, lead singer of the Bleachers and very like well-known collaborator of Taylor Swift, got married over the last weekend.
Yeah, weekend.
To Margaret Qualley.
Mm-hmm. Actress. She's in Maid.
Yeah, she's in Maid. She's been in other things too.
She's done a lot of other things.
Stuff.
Yeah, and then her mom is also a famous actress too.
Nepo.
Nepo. What's her name? Yeah, Andie MacDowell.
Yeah. Okay.
So their wedding was in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. They all went there for a dress rehearsal, and then also obviously the wedding on Saturday night. Yeah. Celebrities that were there: Channing Tatum with Zoe Kravitz, his girlfriend.
I keep forgetting that's a thing.
And they've been together for about 2 years too.
I felt like it was one of those things where we covered it when it first started, and it was kind of like, whoa, what? And then because there haven't been any bumps or any out in the public, that you almost forget that they're going strong.
Yeah.
Especially if you make an appearance to a wedding together. Mm-hmm. We know it's not always true, but on the surface, it's like doing good. Like a wedding show up together is like, we're solid.
We're solid. Yeah. Exactly. This is my +1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're totally right, because we haven't heard about them, which makes me feel like
it's good news.
Smooth sailing.
No news is good news.
Definitely. Who else was there? Cara Delevingne was there.
Which I will say, this is it's just weird that a lot of these people and stories come full circle. Mm-hmm. Her turnaround, she has looked phenomenal lately and incredibly sane and put together. Versus, it was almost like a year and a half ago. I want to say the same time.
I think it's been less than that.
Where she was there was a ton of concerns over drug use, mental health issues. Where we even saw at one point Margot Robbie, who's a good friend of her, I think we saw pictures of her basically what looked like trying to kind of get her under control and be like, hey, you need to get clean and go see somebody. And now I see pictures of her either from this wedding and other things. I'm like.
Yeah, she really cleaned up. I think she quit drinking.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that also means no drugs either.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a ton of information on it, but yeah, she looked great and seems to be doing really well.
California sober.
Mm-hmm. It's not a real thing. But the fans were just crazy for Taylor Swift. Obviously, we know Swifties.
Strong.
Will travel anywhere, go anywhere to find Taylor. But so they were kind of blocking off the streets in New Jersey, waiting for her to leave the house, because it was mainly on Friday night. I saw videos. You could hear them chanting outside on the streets, like, Taylor, Taylor. Police had to get involved to kind of obviously security and protect all the people that were coming out. And even in the background of photos, you can just see a ton of fans in the background trying to get her attention. Plus, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get invited to the wedding? Taylor's going to be like, hey, come on.
Yeah,
join
fans.
us.
I think that this is my only thing, and I was going to ask you too when we talk about going to weddings. And there were like a lot of celebrity weddings, I feel like last summer or maybe year that we talked about a little bit. I think that there is a little bit, especially as normal people, as regular people, that if you do get invited to somewhere where somebody is a singer, it's like, will Taylor perform?
Yeah.
And so maybe there's like an offshoot chance that if you go, when Taylor leaves, you'll see her, like leaving. But also maybe if it's an outdoor wedding and she performs, you'll like hear her. That would be my only thought process.
That would be.
Is that insane to think?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, people go outside SoFi Stadium waiting to hear her. Like there's a full concert outside SoFi in LA.
Yeah.
Because you can hear the concert. But I don't know. This is
far-fetched.
Yeah, a little bit far-fetched. Okay. I would hope that my wedding, especially if I'm an A-list celebrity like that, is very blocked off. There's not going to be fans like jumping the fence to try to get in. So it was crazy for me to even see that they were able to have that much closeness, interaction. But in terms of who sang, Lana Del Rey sang at their wedding.
Yeah.
So that's cute.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then Taylor gave a 15-minute speech, I guess.
Yeah.
Just roasting Jack because...
that's their relationship. We're funny. We're so zany like that.
Well, like you were saying, they're huge collaborators. So I guess in all of her Grammy speeches and every single million award that she's won, she always mentions him. No, but he never mentions her. So she was roasting him on that.
That is actually funny. Yeah. At first, I thought it was going to be kind of this fake thing where it's like, I'm just going to razz you for 15 minutes. But if there actually is, like, it's funny that there's an actual bone to pick a little bit in a loving way. Yeah. Like. Can
you imagine? It's like playing telephone award. I'd like to thank my family, God, and that's it.
Nobody else.
And Dennis is like,
what the? My other thought process was with them being so close and collaborators, how much do you think this wedding was planned around her tour?
Yeah,
exactly.
She had to be there. She just finished her tour last week.
That's where Jack and Margaret were like, when they were planning their wedding, it wasn't necessarily like it was like really planning a wedding for 3.
Yeah.
It was like, well, Taylor doesn't get off until, so then we can't do it until the weekend afterwards. So I think like that.
Well, they're definitely really close because remember whenever she'd have her little breaks, she was out with dinner with them, double dates with her and Maddie Healy too, TBT.
He wasn't in attendance.
No, he wasn't in attendance. Taylor was great though. I liked seeing what everybody was drinking.
Yeah, you did.
Taylor was drinking white wine. Zoe was drinking a martini, and then Channing was dating me. He was drinking a Stella.
Doesn't that feel right for all 3 of them?
It really
pretty on
did,
brand,
right? That's what I thought too. What's your drink of choice at a wedding?
At a wedding, it depends on the time of the wedding. Okay. If it's before, and this is assuming I'm not a key member.
Okay,
right? If you're a key member, you got to keep it pretty together until post.
Yeah,
but before, I'll probably just do some beers, like, a Stella or whatever is the beer. But then afterwards, I got to go with like the groom's choice of cocktail, because afterwards you're getting pretty loose.
Well, because our friend Elliot had a specialized menu. Remember?
Yeah,
it was like
groom's cocktail,
after his dog.
Bride's cocktail. Yeah. That's the thing that people do now.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't really been to that.
I go to so many weddings.
I was like, wait, this is such a cute idea.
Wow, is this new? The other thing is too that I was going to say, did you appreciate more that the drinks matched up so well, or would you like it if you saw somebody if you saw Taylor drinking something like,
what'd you think?
And we saw Taylor doing shots,
whiskey,
or something would you be like so cool, or are you like, oh, they did exactly what it was satisfying that they were almost to a T what we thought they would drink?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hurt by it, but it would have been kind of funny to see her drinking
pounded shots
really hard and just
straight
vodka on the rocks or something like that. It was kind of on brand. Channing's drinking a beer.
Yeah. Well, he's a dad.
Yeah.
Try not to get too
crazy.
Messed up. Yeah.
I mean, that was also early. It was still light out in those photos.
Knows?
So
who knows what goes on?
We don't know what happened when the Paps were kicked out.
And the Swifties. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Do you think that she was pissed at them or no?
Pissed at who?
Taylor at the Swifties, that felt like to a certain degree they were ruining the celebration. Maybe. I can't say ruining. I wasn't there, but.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm curious about, the extent of how much it kind of ruined the moment.
Interrupted it.
I think like I was saying, a lot of those videos that I was seeing was mainly from Friday. So I feel like I wouldn't care as much about the dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
But if people are crashing my legitimate wedding,
Pissed.
I would be annoyed. But I think they also like were expecting it too because of the type of people that were going to be there. I mean, just them and themselves, like they're big
Gonna
names.
attract, yeah.
And then Taylor as well. I think what I was saying though too, I was just a little bit surprised on how it wasn't more closed off though. Cause I'm thinking about David Beckham's son and Nicole,
Brooklyn Beckham and Nicole Peltz.
Yeah. That seemed like a very private venue. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Private. That was also at his mansion, but it felt,
you're right.
It felt very closed off where they could have done that.
Like these people. Yeah. Like it's not like these people couldn't afford a mansion to like do something private like that. Yeah.
And how do these fans, did they get to say the date in the mail? Where did they know the exact location?
I don't know.
I
think they have
hard
inner
enough?
networks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I think Swifties have networking.
Hundreds of fans. Hundreds.
Yeah.
Say one more time.
Hundreds.
Everybody found out. One person posted on Twitter and they're like,
everyone said, let's go. Here's my last question on it. If you are Taylor, what is the right, you are, I know. What's the right response? Do you, if it's interrupting, maybe it's the wedding day, do you go over and say, hey, out of respect, you guys need to not disperse, but like, hey, I love you guys, but like you need to keep it down. Like I would really appreciate that, or ignore it and just
ignore.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you're like picking at something, it just makes it worse.
If you stoke the fire, it'll
like let them.
They're gonna get more excited.
And if you wave, whoa, everybody's gonna go crazy and then think you might have an opportunity to get an invite and be her plus one.
Yeah, and Taylor, it's a great thing to note. Taylor didn't bring her plus one, right?
No, she didn't.
Right.
She's very private.
I love going to a wedding single though.
Yeah, a little step. Why do you like going to a wedding solo?
Just so I can enjoy the moment, I think.
Really be present.
I can be present. I don't have to worry about anybody's needs or anything like that. I can just worry about myself and, you know, really, like you said, being present.
Weddings are so different nowadays, though. I feel like when our parents would go to weddings, they'd be like, everybody, bring a date. Like, it was the best place to meet someone.
It was to set people up.
Yeah.
Is really what it was. But that was back when, like, your grandparents were making the food. Like, nobody was, like, catering.
Well, that or was, like, $5 a plate compared to $300 a plate.
Yeah. God, so
the economy.
This damn economy. Also in good news, though.
Yeah.
We had talked about this. So weird. I feel like Britney, in a lot of ways, we were having telepathic thoughts. We had talked about before last week's episode, did Rihanna and A$AP have their baby?
Yeah.
And we were like, no, I don't think so. And then just like that,
they secretly had their baby.
Yeah. And like I said, telepathically.
And we just like knew the baby was here already because it was technically already here. The baby was born August 3rd. It's a baby boy. We don't know that much, honestly, about the child, except for it's a boy, August 3rd, and that his name starts with an R.
But not to be confused with the first child that they had, which is RZA, RZA.
Right. Okay. And also Rihanna, and also A$AP Rocky, but also real name Rakim. So they're going all R's.
I don't dislike that. I think, I don't know. I think when you have two kids, we'll let it slide.
Yeah.
I think if you have three kids and they're named like
Kim, Chloe, Courtney, Kendall, Kylie.
If you're not them, that can be a little bit much.
Yeah. And also some letters are harder than others. So you really kind of have to plan out those names before. Cause then I know if I was the fourth, which I am the fourth of my family, and then they had to all do N's, and then I just kind of got a
shit
under the stick.
Yeah. I don't know what that's saying.
Shit under the stick?
Shit out of luck. Or like drill the short straw. Shit on a stick. I don't know what that is.
Shit end of the stick.
Oh, you got the bad end of the stick.
Okay, I'm really bad at those little phrases.
You are bad at those. Yeah, like short end of the straw. Yeah.
Okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like, as you have more kids, it's kind of harder to come up with.
You got to get creative.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think that is. And also, when I was reading that story that they had the baby, the whole thing that was so unbelievable to me, it's like when these new developments happen, you look back, you do a little bit of a timeline search. Yeah. Was it not unbelievable that she had her first baby?
Yeah.
Agreed to do the Super Bowl, which we talked about, because at the time, I think people were commenting a little bit like, I don't know if it was, because like we didn't know that she was pregnant with her second baby.
Well, she announced it technically
during the Super Bowl performance.
Right.
But like, we were kind of like, so before the Super Bowl happened, like, wow, she's going to do this. Like, she literally just had a kid 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah. And then she obviously announced, we talked about it. It was a huge deal when she announced it at the Super Bowl. I'm not a mom. I'm not even a woman, but like, is that not a crazy like turnaround of, hey, like number one, had a baby. Amazing. Congratulations. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to prepare and do the Super Bowl. Oh, in that short amount of time, I am also pregnant again. Yeah. Is that not wild?
Very short. Very short. Yeah. Cause her baby was born in May. Yeah. Super Bowl was in February. So, I mean, in that time she was training
6 months
or getting ready for it. And then also recovering from the pregnancy. Yeah. Which I guess maybe she had like a smooth pregnancy or birth or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't taxing or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, still though.
Because when she did the Super Bowl performance, I mean, you could see the bump where it was, I mean, she was probably, 2 months?
Let's see. What month are we in now? The baby was born in August.
We're in August. So roll back the clock. That. 8 months. So it was December.
Was when she got pregnant.
Would be 9 months ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, May she has the baby, and then by November, December, we're back at it. Yeah. No time lost.
What's the age gap in your family?
Like your years? 6.5 to 7 years each child.
Wow. Okay, because Dimitri and I are only a year and a half, but that's still a whole year and a half.
Yeah, that's true.
But I kind of get that though. Like, just knock them out.
I get that too. And we talked about it when she got, and they're not married technically, are they?
No, they're not. There's like rumors that they've also secretly married.
Little secret wedding.
But also, I wouldn't put it past them if they actually are secretly married or if they just never kind of want to get married.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We just know, I remember her doing that article where she and Rocky both talked about specifically they were ready to have kids.
Yeah.
And so that just feels like based on how quickly they had kids back to back, it was like a conversation of, hey, we're going to have kids and we're going to have like 2, or maybe they'll have more, but it's like, we're going to have 2 very quickly. Yeah,
I really like their love. They're cute. They're a cute couple.
I think it's just interesting that it's satisfying as well that it's worked out for Rihanna because we had all the turmoil, all the tragedy with the whole Chris Brown thing when it was like early 2010-ish kind of timeline, whatever that was. But then she really did date a couple different guys that it just didn't seem like it was really hitting or, matching up. And then out of nowhere, they're like, yeah, we're going to date. And it's like, it just worked.
It was an instant flame, I feel like. And they're like, boop, spark.
Let's do it.
We're having kids. Yeah, they're cute.
Congratulations, ASAP and Rihanna.
Riri.
Now, this has just been, like I said, it's a great week. The last like big story, all this stuff with Scooter Braun this week.
There was a lot of, I think it first started with, there was this article about Justin Bieber is cutting all ties with Scooter Braun. They're no longer friends, no relationship. And neither of them denied it. It kind of took a little bit. And then finally Justin said, no, that's not true. And so did Scooter's people and said no. Because they've been together for years too.
I mean, he was his first manager.
Yeah. I mean, he found him on YouTube. Yeah. So discovered him and everything. And then a lot of other artists started following too. It was rumors that Ariana Grande had split from him, had dropped him from management. And then Demi Lovato, also the same. And then more and more, what's her name? Idina Menzel. So more people were just coming forward that they were no longer going to have Scooter Braun as their manager.
And I think the wildest part about when these rumors or news were coming out was that it literally felt like a domino effect because that first article was Justin, which we all knew was kind of his biggest, like you said, they've been together for so long. People knew them, knew them together as collaborate, like they were like hand in hand. Right. But then it was like all the rumors with Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato. And people were asking me like, okay, what is going on that we can't see that people are literally dropping like flies? I was thinking
something crazy was going on in Scooter's life. Because also we mentioned Justin, but also Ariana's been with him for 10 years. Yeah. Did her first album with him, which that's a 10-year anniversary coming up. She's dropping a new album on Friday. Wow. Cool.
Ariana is?
Yeah. It's like the 10th anniversary of that first album.
Ariana's version.
I know. Do you feel like everyone's going to start doing that?
Super annoying. Go on. Yeah, if they do that.
And then J Balvin had actually separated from him in May, and now he's represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation. So there was just a lot of shifts going on in a lot of these artists. So it came out that it is true that Demi Lovato has left. It's called SB Projects, yeah, which is a part of what the Ithaca
Holdings.
Ithaca Holdings is a bigger one. Yeah, which recently also got bought out.
Yeah, my biggest thing and what I saw and what I felt was a little bit more a look into what might be happening was him saying that I didn't realize that he was stepping down from, he's like taking over as CEO of Hybe. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so that's the company that
bought out
Ithaca
Holdings. So if you ask me, it's the same way to a certain degree.
Yeah, it's a South Korean entertainment business that represents BTS.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that, like, say you're Demi Lovato or say you're Ariana Grande, whatever. I don't think that he's really managing them anymore. It's people underneath them. And I think with him focusing on as CEO of this Hybe, I think it was a thing where they were like, hey, Scooter, you're going to be focused on that. You're not going to be like, the reason I was here was to work with you. And really now you're focused on that and not being my manager.
Yeah.
That's like my initial outlook, but I'm always open to speculation.
But no, you're totally right.
Yeah.
I think it was it was more understood though, more than it was seeming, because no one's saying anything. So it made it seem like something really sketchy was going on and I think he is a very hands-on manager though. Maybe that's the only thing that is that what you're saying though too?
Like when they signed on with him, however many years ago, it was like, hey, like I'm doing the bookings. I'm producing your projects with you. Yeah.
And now when he sold Ithaca Holdings to this Hype entertainment group for $1 billion. A couple of years ago. So now I feel like his responsibilities are changing. It's like, okay, I helped build up Ariana Grande. I helped build up Justin Bieber. Now maybe I want to do a little bit more of these different duties, you know, I mean, different part of your life. Maybe you want to do something, have a little bit of a change. So he's shifting over more to have a CEO title at that company.
Instead of a manager.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of the rumors are happening, because everybody was leaving, but they're not leaving his place. They're just not going to be working as closely with Scooter. Yeah. Is how I understood it.
Yeah. And I think, okay, also, number one, the Justin Bieber thing, and then like them retracting it and being like, Justin Bieber's still with Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
I do think that and somebody had said before, I do think they're very close. The only reason I think that is because like I go back to Pop Star, what that Drake did. And like, I just wouldn't put somebody that I saw as like my manager that isn't my like friend.
Yeah.
In like music, like fun music videos that I would do. Yeah. Like I wouldn't ask that person to be in the music video if I was like, oh my God, my manager, you know? So I feel like there is things that we've seen them like off the, you know, outside of just their business relationship where it's like, they kind of get each other.
Yeah. I guess my only thing was, okay, finally we saw Scooter tweeted and kind of made a joke about all these rumors going everywhere. And he just said, oh, well, like I'm not even representing myself anymore. So it was funny, but also that was still at a point where we had no idea what was going on. Yeah. What is happening? It would have just made it so much easier. It made it seem more sus that nobody was really explaining it when this isn't a bad thing. So
why did
something else happen in between this step, or I don't know. That was the only part that was weird for me, because I was like, why are all these people just dropping like flies? But I guess they technically weren't.
Also, can I just say,
why wouldn't they just say that though?
I don't know. Can I just say, if Demi Lovato, who I don't know the last time that they released new music, like I'm thinking back to like Cool for the Summer, like 2015, or I don't even know when that was, but them leaving Scooter Braun or announcing that they're leaving, I was kind of like, okay, like what have you done lately? You know what I mean? And I get that Demi Lovato is still a big name within culture and pop, you know, world. But I'm kind of like, when I saw Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber, I was like, if I was a business owner and I was like Scooter Braun, I'd be like, okay, this is all hands on deck. Like, Mayday.
Because Ariana Grande though,
she left in the middle.
She hasn't dropped an album though since Positions, which was 3 years ago.
But massive.
Wicked.
But I mean, she's massive.
I know.
And like still like is.
I think Demi Lovato's still pretty big though. I think all of his people are so huge.
I don't know. I just don't remember the last time that Demi Lovato has released anything that's like been on the air.
Yeah.
That was a great song. I'm not saying that they don't produce great music, but if you haven't done anything in 6 years, then it's like, okay, what do we leave? You know, what are we leaving?
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. Demi said that she's looking for new management now. So
we'll see. The other one that's very funny is, okay, but the initial things that I saw that was even wilder. It's so weird how it's all interconnected. And I want to bring it back to you before we leave Scooter Braun, which we won't, but Taylor Swift, talk about that. But then also the early rumors were, I thought that Bieber or Demi Lovato or Ariana Grande, I don't know which artist, that they were joining Britney Spears' former manager that managed her like during her unbelievable, run, but the conservatorship. And that's where, and it was like in like those initial articles, I think that we disproved with Justin Bieber. Yeah. But I was almost like, what a wicked odd turn that would be.
I think that's what I was kind of saying. They were letting these rumors run wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that goes back to what you've said before, PR stunts, just to get us all talking about all these people again. Not that they really need any more fame that they have. Because even Scooter Braun is a staple name. I mean, everyone knows that he's one of the top managers in the business and is just a powerhouse. Yeah. And then I was also wondering, like, is he just going through a lot of things? Because he got divorced a couple of years ago. I can't believe that's already been a couple of years. And big shifts in his business. So
I think it's exactly what we said. The whole thing with changing rules.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like you said, speculation. Okay, here's the other thing though. People, and this is where I think we can get dirty with the speculation. When this was happening, people were initially, and myself included, were like, is this truly the power of Taylor Swift in eras of like her tours blowing up? Obviously, we know she's doing all these different versions of her old albums that we famously know Scooter Braun bought the rights to when Big Machine Music Records somehow lost that music. I'm still confused how that happened. That's hilarious to me. But was like all these artists saw that. This is was my initial reaction, and other people were kind of putting this in my head too. Okay. Of like, oh my gosh, they're seeing this and they're like, like Taylor's doing so well. You and her famously are enemies. I don't, maybe he's shady. Like you said, there's something else besides just this role switch. Yeah. That people were so influenced by how well Taylor was doing on this Eras Tour record-setting numbers that they were like, all right, screw Scooter Braun.
Right.
I'm changing to not necessarily Taylor's label or whoever she does, but just somebody different.
Separating ways from him, though.
Yeah.
You're
not. That was my initial thought before I really dug deeper.
Just think about how long it's been since that happened.
People would have dropped immediately if that was the case.
Yeah. If they were really that upset that he was beefing so hard with Taylor Swift is just selling everything out because she's Taylor Swift.
Regardless.
But also Justin Bieber and Ariana also do very well for themselves. Yeah. So I think what was more important to them was their relationship with Scooter, which clearly they had, and Taylor's was just very hostile. So you can't be friends with everybody.
Hey, we know that. Yeah. So,
interesting theory, though.
Yeah, I mean, because that was the thing that it wasn't that far fetched for me either.
No, I think it was more like Taylor's like happy in the background. She's like, everybody's leaving you, but turned out not to be true.
Also, at the end of the day, we literally it's so weird. Telepathic. Last week we talked about on the episode when Taylor announces Taylor's version 1989 coming out X amount of time. People get excited about 1989, the album. What do they download in the meantime?
The other one?
1989, the original version that Scooter Braun owns. That's the thing where it's like, if you dislike somebody, you can dislike them. But at the end of the day, this guy still sold Ithaca Holdings for $1 billion. That like the person, like he's not like, he's not like at his place like, man, like Taylor's selling things out. I probably shouldn't have done that. He's like, it was a business decision.
I mean, he made a dirty decision and he's just making still a lot of money. Yeah. So, and he burned one really huge artist, but he has a huge portfolio of other people. I mean, Justin and Ariana are huge ones, but then there's so many other people. Yeah. Ozuna, David Guetta, Quavo, Black Eyed Peas, Ava Max, Carly Rae Jepsen. Dan and Shay.
Dan and Shay.
And just his huge company. I mean, he's definitely very successful and he's doing something right, but maybe he has a little bit of dirty play at certain points where he had to make a decision at that point.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes you hear in
that world. Yeah. For certain. But I thought this was funny too. When they disproved the rumors, we have talked so many times, like about Justin Bieber and him separating. We have talked on countless occasions about how Justin never defends Haley when she's going through these different beefs with who was it?
Selena Gomez.
Who's that person? Oh, Selena Gomez. That small artist, Selena Gomez. And it's just funny that within days afterwards, and Justin put out a statement, right?
I don't think he said anything.
No, not the Selena Gomez thing.
No, nothing about Scooter
Braun. How did we find out that
it was just
somebody from the company was like, yeah, he's
not. But Justin Bieber going on his own feet to protect a friend or your wife?
That's what I was going to say, where I was like, it would have been funny if he would have defended Scooter and not Haley and all the different things that she is constantly entangled in. But thank God that didn't happen.
Now I can actually say that would be hilarious. Yeah. I'll agree with you.
He's like, Scooter has been there with me forever. And Haley's on the side like, babe, what?
Where have you been when my eyebrows were getting made fun of?
All over the place.
Yeah, actually, that kind of makes me a little bit happy that maybe he just doesn't talk at all.
Justin.
Yeah, he just posts his same photographer photos from Rory and doesn't really
engage. And I think that's enough.
Yeah.
We actually did have a friend who subsequently, Anna B in New York, who actually did run into the two of them. We've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah.
Justin and Haley. And he was cool to her. Made fun of her.
Really cool. What? They hang out after or what?
No. But he was nice. Okay. And I was like, okay.
How was Haley? Your life.
I literally think that Anna B didn't even take her eyes off of JB. So I think it was it's kind of like somebody's dating somebody and you're just not even, you're so in love with the other person that you didn't even give them the time of day. But that being said, we brought in Selena Gomez up. She announced again that I think this Friday is
August 25th is when.
That's 3 days.
Is that really already?
It's 3 days. And this is something that I was saying.
You're talking about her new album, right?
Yes, her new album.
That her and Miley are dropping on the same day.
Yeah.
They're on.
So we talked about last week how Used to Be Young, Miley talked about that single, but is her whole album coming this Friday?
Single.
Just that single.
Yeah.
But Selena Gomez is a full album, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, has it not felt like...
Finally.
Well, yeah, give her a break. Francia, we got things
Selena's always beefing with people.
Yeah, she is. But my thing was is it not right now? People are releasing music like it's
I know you're saying that.
I'm just
and Drake too.
Yeah, what?
Her Lost just came out.
Was it not a year ago? I swear I was in LA.
Yeah.
I've only been here for a year and months.
It's still pretty new. I mean, he's still on tour for that album.
Yeah.
With 21.
New music. Selena, like we said, hasn't released something in a while, so that's kind of due. But Miley, we talked about the same thing. Endless Summer was literally last...
A couple months ago.
Few months ago.
Few months ago.
Few. Who's to say? It was before Christmas, though, I think.
Yeah, so that would be more.
6 months, 8 months. But I'm just I feel like it's almost that is the power of Taylor Swift, if people are trying to put more and more content, more and more songs out, more and more albums to kind of keep up with. I felt like before it was people would wait 6 years, 5 years, and they'd come back and it'd be a huge anticipated return.
Adele?
Yeah, and now Drake, I swear, puts out a new album
every 6 months too.
And same thing with Taylor.
Well, yeah, Taylor, we've said it's a different breed. But yeah, and Miley, I feel like is dropping new music too because she's saying she's never going to go on tour.
She said that?
Yeah, she just said touring is just not in her cards.
Same with Justin.
Yeah, but thank you, Miley, for your honesty. Justin just kind of pretends.
Sorry he gets sick, okay? Sorry he works hard.
But then he keeps postponing. Just cancel it.
Yeah, his little bones can't take it.
It's Ramsey Hunt. Is that just cured? I guess so.
He was cured. The boy who was cured. I think that's pretty much all I had to say about this new music trend kick, though. I was like, this is crazy.
Oh, there was one more thing. Flo Rida was performing in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And a baby was crowd surfing and ended up in Flo Rida's arms.
Not okay. Not ending up in Flo Rida's arms. That's fine. That's fine with me. Putting your baby crowd surfing is she should literally be reported. What if somebody drops that baby, steals that baby?
Oh my God. Call CPS.
Yeah. Child Protective Services. That is
Thank you for
unbelievable.
giving me the acronym.
But also, what person would bring their baby to a Flo Rida concert? The same person that probably let their baby crowd surf.
Did I dream this, or have I not seen a baby thrown on stage for one of his concerts? It was, no, literally like kind of tossed it onto the ground of the stage.
Like a live baby, like a real.
Yes, a live baby.
I didn't know if it was like a fake baby.
It was like Flo. Does he encourage it? It's like Cardi B. Throw water on me, Flo. Throw
babies at me. Throw babies. That's
weird.
Unbelievable.
All right, that wraps it up.
Yeah, well, that's funny though, because people had been throwing phones, they've been throwing ashes. Now let's throw live humans, human babies.
Gosh,
but that does, I think, wrap it up.
Yeah. Follow us at Playing Telephone on Instagram, TikTok.
Yep.
Full episodes are going up on YouTube as well. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.